CRAFTY.com. I am so happy you're here with me today. Before we get started, I just want to share with you a few things. You still have until the 31st of March to get discounts on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and 13 different bundles with Stampin' Up. They're 20% off. So for example, you can get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for just $48 right now, regularly $60. If you need to shop any of these items, you can shop with me at shop11stampin.com. Also, the Waves of the Ocean goodies are available. Today's the last day that I'm going to actually be sharing this reminder with you. I've shared it several times, so I just want you to be aware that you can still get these items through May 2nd. And I absolutely love these rhinestones. They are gorgeous. So if you don't have these or this beautiful foil paper, you might want to add that. If this bundle isn't your scheme, is something you enjoy, then maybe the papers or the rhinestones will be. And then I have two gift offerings for the month of March. One is when you place a $100 order with me by March 27th, which expires just coming up very soon, using this host code, you will receive the Mischievous Mice stamp set, the Rainbow and Sunshine sampler pack, and some Daffodil Delight ribbon. So these are free, my gift to you when you place a $100 order or more using this host code. If you just spend $50 or more, that's okay too. And we will be sending you a pack of the Playing with Patterns resin dots. You're going to use this host code for that offer. If you want both offers, you just place 2 orders using each host code. And then also right now is my Easter card making class. It's happening now. If you want that, there is a special host code for that. And there is a link below the video and you can get that class. There are 6 projects. It's all online. No kits are shipped. We will send you a thank you card, of course. And you can either purchase it for $35 if you are a demonstrator or you're not in the United States. You can just order it online for $35, or you can place a $35 order with me or more using the host code in the description below the video, and you'll get the class for free. Okay, there's my updates. Also, don't forget to sign up for my emails, which is at the very bottom of the description, because that's how you get your free creative inspiration calendar in your email every month. And you will find that creative inspiration calendar coming out next week. So you want to make sure you get on the list next week for April. Okay, here we go. I hope you're all well today. And I want to just tell you that if you are commenting, I love it and appreciate it so much. I appreciate all the thumbs ups. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel, I always appreciate that. At the end of this video, I will chit chat with you a little. During my presentation and demonstration, I don't really chat with commenters just because it's very distracting for me and I tend not to be able to get back on track. So if you think I'm ignoring you, I'm not. It's just that I'm only capable of completing one task at a time. So here we go. We are going to make some fun cards. Now today what I'm showing you is the silhouette stamping technique. You need to pick a stamp set that has some like solid imagery in it for this technique, if you want to do it the way I'm doing it. And I'm going to show you some samples today as well, along with the one we're making today, so that you can see exactly what it is I am talking about. But the best results for a card like this is to have a nice solid image. So we're going to use this one today. The other thing that I recommend using when you are doing this technique is a stamp positioning tool. This is the Stamparatus. So it comes with 2 plates like this that just clip right in to the sides of the tool. And then you can put your image wherever you want it, close the clear plate, pick it up, and now you have it on there so you can restamp as many times as you need so you get a really nice, clean, crisp image. So we're going to set that aside for now because we have some ink blending and other things to do. Here I am using a piece of masking paper. This piece of masking paper is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, which is the same size as my card base that I want to ink. And what I have learned through the process of this is that I will end up probably having to trim this down a little bit more after I'm done with this process, because it is hard to cover all the edges perfectly. So you can make a choice. You can either trim it down ahead of time, which is what I'm gonna do now, to 3 3/4 by 5, or you can leave it full size and do your masking and your ink blending, which you're gonna see me do, and then trim it down after. You'll see more of what I'm talking about here in a minute. I've already managed to get something on my cardstock. Way to go. Okay. So this is masking paper. I got this from Simon Says Stamp. You can get this lots of different places, but essentially it is sticky on one side and not on the other. So you can use this for lots of different things. Today, we are going to use it to cut a mask. So I'm gonna grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And I do need the Big Daddy. I need the big one. And we're going to lay this down and tape this in place. So I kind of want it a little further towards the top and equal on each side as best as I can get it. Just trying to make sure I get this all lined up well inside the machine here. And to hold this down, I'm using Post-it note tape. And you can find that on Amazon, and I've linked to it below this video. So if you need some Post-it note tape, you can get it at my affiliate link below the video. Affiliate links don't cost you anything extra. They just give a very small kickback to the content creator, which is me. Okay, so now we have this mask that we're also going to save because it's got the sticky on one side as well. And I used the stitched rectangles for that. I love these dies. These are fantastic dies to have in your arsenal. I want to tell you something exciting that's happening with Stampin' Up! Too. So we're going to cover this and we're going to attempt to make sure it's nice and even. We need a piece of scratch. Hold on, let me get a grid paper. There we go. Okay. So we're going to peel the backing away. And now we are left with this sticky mask. And now I'm going to attempt to get it even as humanly possible. Okay, now that is stuck down to the cardstock, and it's allowing this open space where I can still mask. So, exciting things happening with Stampin' Up! Let me just tell you what's happening. The retiring product list is being released tomorrow. So, what is that? If you're new to Stampin' Up, you're like, what is that? Why do I care about this? So Stampin' Up! Has an annual catalog that they release every year. And every year there are some products that move out of the old catalog and new products that come in. So tomorrow they're going to release their retiring list, and you'll be able to purchase those items at a discount. Not all of them, but some of them at a discount. And it is while supplies last. So if you see something you like, I highly recommend you purchase it immediately, because there's a good chance it won't stay around for very long. We are going to use Soft Seafoam, Soft Succulent, and Evening Evergreen for our colors today. And we're going to start with Soft Seafoam. And I'm using my blending brush. I love these blending brushes from Stampin' Up! And we're going to start off of the cardstock, because what can happen when you get your ink on your blending brush is sometimes there can be like a little spot that's really concentrated, and if you take it right to your cardstock, it'll make like a smudge or a mark. We don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do is start off to the edge here where it's not going to be on our card. We're using a really light touch. Now, if you struggle with having a light touch, I recommend you scoot your hand back on the handle. If you struggle with enough pressure, move your hand up a little. So that is just my tips for beautiful ink blending. Now we've got some time to visit and hang out and chat because ink blending is a process, okay? It is not a quick finished thing. If you want beautiful, even ink blending, you have to be patient and you have to layer your colors. So I'm using a very soft hand and I'm just continuing to add the soft seafoam layer by layer by layer, and it will get darker and darker and darker as I add it. Now, the fun thing about using these stitched rectangle dies is this ink is going to push through the stitched edging. So what will happen as you layer it and you push it through, you're going to also end up with this beautiful stitched edge, which is really fun. So stay tuned for that reveal. Okay, now we're gonna move into soft succulent ink. And I thought it would be fun here to go with these greens because we're stamping trees, pine trees specifically, or redwoods, whatever you wanna call them. And so I thought it would be fun to do green as a nod to that. So that's why we're using green. So as I said, this is a process. This is not to be rushed. You have to take your time because we're also going to have to go back and ink blend the bottom color into this color as well. So there is definitely an element of patience involved in this technique. However, this technique is a very easy technique to kind of end up with a wow card that I feel is great for a beginning card maker. So if you've just started making cards and you're wanting to do stuff that's a little bit more fancy and you're wanting to step out a little, but you don't have a whole lot of supplies, this is a fantastic technique for you. It's simple to do. It just takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of patience, and it doesn't use a whole lot of supplies. As you can see, I'm using one stamp set. I'm using 3 ink colors, some blending brushes, and a die set. Now, if you didn't have a die set that you felt like you wanted to use for this, then you could use a punch or hand cut out a shape, whatever your heart desired. Now we're gonna go back into the soft succulent and blend it back into the evening evergreen at the top. And this is the part of ink blending that is so magical and that you really have to make sure that you do, because if you don't, then you don't have as fun of a finished project, if that makes sense. So I'm just ink blending back into that soft succulent, and I could go over this and over this and over this and get this as dark as I wanted it to be with all 3 colors. However, for the sake of time, we're not going to go too crazy, okay? Although it is very therapeutic. I will tell you, if you're needing something to do that is a little bit therapeutic for your soul, this is a really great technique for that as well. Because look at the finished result. Isn't that gorgeous? There's just something about ink blending. It's my very favorite technique, I think. It's something that I feel like anybody can do, and you could just do it over and over and over with all kinds of different colors. Experiment with different colors, see what you get. And then this is the most fun part right here. Okay, here we go. The reveal. Ta-ta-ta. Isn't this beautiful? Oh, I love it so much. So I'm going to get this close to the camera because I want you to see the stitching. Can you guys see the stitching? Isn't that beautiful? It's not super dark. It's kind of faint, but it's very fine, beautiful lines, and they are gradient too, just like the card. Isn't that fun? Okay, or just like the middle ink blending. Okay, now's the fun part. This is where we add our imagery. So I want my trees to kind of be stamped half on, half off. And I'm trying to decide how I want them. Do I want them? Yeah, I think I want them off a little more. So I'm just organizing my paper here how I want it, adjusting it how I want it, my cardstock. And I'm gonna take this off actually and place it. And then I'm gonna take my magnet and add my magnet. That will hold my cardstock in place. Now for the fun part. We're going to use black, which is very striking. And we're gonna ink up these trees in black. And now you're gonna see why a stamparatus is so important. When I stamp these, and you wanna move your fingers around the outline of the stamp. That's what I have found gives you the best image. You can see where some has been missed, okay? But you can see it's not very dark, okay? So we'll do it again. And that's the beauty of using a stamp positioning tool. Yep, there we go. We're getting better. We're making progress. And I'm really liking that. That looks really good. We're gonna go one more time, even though I think this is probably dark enough. I'm gonna go one more time. Much better. Love it. Isn't that beautiful? It's so striking. Okay. Now I'm going to add my sentiment. And I'm also going to use black for my sentiment. We're going to use Enjoy Today. And you know what? I'm also going to use my stamp positioner for this. I just decided. Because I want that sentiment to be nice and dark. And I don't want any chance for that sentiment to not be exactly how I want it to be. Okay. So we're going to stamp it right here. And before I stamp it down, I'm going to stamp it on a scrap first, just to make sure it's lined up the way I want it to be. And this is a little off kilter, so I'm going to actually have it go a little off kilter too, because you know what, before we do this, I'm just realizing, let's do this. Okay, I want to show you guys how to fix this. I don't know if you can tell, but things are a little askew. Can you tell? So I'm going to fix that because that's going to bother me. So we're going to trim this guy. We're going to put it in the trimmer, and I'm lining this straight inked edge up with the trimmer to be straight, which is going to make it a little cattywampus. Let's see. Maybe we'll do it from here first. Yeah. There we go. Now I'm going to trim this. And what this is doing is it's squaring up my image the way it's supposed to be. Much better, much, much, much better. So I don't know the exact size now, but that's okay because it's just gonna go on this black mat and it's gonna look perfectly fine. So when you have something that gets a little askew, you can trim up the edges to make it all straight again. All right, so now we're gonna put this in here. We're gonna hope beyond hope that I don't mess things up at this point. Oh, come on. It's wanting to stick to my fingers. Good grief. Yeah, that's gonna work. So we'll remove that guy. We'll come in with our sentiment and stamp. And then we're gonna stamp it again. And one more time. Now we have this nice bold sentiment. And I'm going to add this. Have you guys ever tried this technique? Tell me in the comments, share with me if you have tried this technique. We're matting it on some black that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have a card base that's 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. We'll use my bone folder here. And then for a final touch, let's pop this up and then add a little bit of embellishments, okay? So we're just gonna pop this up, and then I have several other cards to show you. A few. I shouldn't say several. Maybe several is a stretch. Okay. That I think you're really gonna love. Alrighty, and then we'll just put this right here. And then let's add some embellishments, shall we? I have these beautiful rhinestones that are available. These are only available till May 2nd. These are the Waves rhinestones. So if you want these, hop on it. And I'm gonna use this color here. This is, to me, this looks like soft sea foam, but I think it is, I'm not sure which color it is, but I think it's gonna go great here. So we're just gonna add a few sparkly bits. And I like odd numbers. So whenever I add sparklies, I like to add an odd number of them. I don't know why. It's just a thing. Okay, that's it. That's the finished card. So simple, easy, fun, such a fun technique. And here are some other cards. So first I want to show that I received this card in the mail, a happy birthday card. This was from Carla. So thank you so much, Carla, for this sweet birthday card. So I wanted to show that. And then we'll show you the other cards I made. Let's get rid of this. So I made this one using the Mermaids and Pirates stamp set. And the way that I did this is I cut the diorama die out and did exactly like I did here, except I used the diorama dies. Once I did all my ink blending, I came in and used one of the Plenty of Patterns masks. So I used this one and I placed it over the top and I ink blended the exact same colors over the top. And so it gives this really cool effect of waves. For the mermaid, I stamped her in black and then I colored her whole body in with a black marker. That's it, guys. I used a Stampin' Blends black marker and I colored her whole body in. And then I stamped my sentiment and added some of those blue rhinestones. I mounted this on Pacific Point cardstock and I love how this card turned out. And then I took an envelope and I continued my ink blending on this envelope. So I'm able to put this beautiful envelope with this card, and I think it really has a beautiful effect. I could even take that mask and ink blend some more over this so it has the same pattern. That would be really fun too. The next card I have to share with you is this one. This one I used the Picture This dies. The Picture This dies cut out circles or rectangles. I first put the mask over just like I did these ones and ink blended just in the masks. And I used Mary Merlot, Cajun Craze, Pumpkin Pine Crushed Curry. And then I did my black stamping and then I came back in and I ink blended the entire piece to kind of soften the white. And I ink blended from Mary Merlot, Cajun Craze, Pumpkin Pie to Crushed Curry. And then I just used those fun playful alphabets to add the hello, and this card was finished. The last card might be my other favorite, is the May Your Birthday Be Memorable. I used the Timeless Tropical Stamp Set to make this. I die cut a circle. I ink blended Fresh Freesia, Flirty Flamingo, and Pale Papaya to get this combination. And I stamped in black the sentiment and the trees. And then I also created an envelope to go with this card. So it has the same colors ink blended here as that are in the card. So those are my masking and ink blending samples for you today. I love this technique. It's one of my very favorites. And I'll be honest with you, when I'm really stuck in a rut and I don't know what to make, I could just sit and do cards like this. That's it. Over and over and over, because it's a simple process, but you get such a different look with each and every card, and I just love it. So I would love to know if you've tried it. All right, let's look at your comments. Okay, you're all loving the cards. Oh, good. Sandra, another new technique to her. Nancy has never tried this technique, but it's going to try it soon. Stamparatus has saved Kathy many times. Yes, Miss Deborah, blending is very therapeutic, just like coloring. Oh, it's so nice to see all of you here. Thank you. I love this collection and we'll play with it when we get moved this weekend. Hi, Iona. Hello, Callie girl. Hello, Karen and Cindy and Linda and Jean, Tracy, Feline, Samantha. Hi, how are you? Kathleen, Pretty Petal. Oh, you're so funny. So Pretty Petal says, wow, very pretty, but I'm not you and it would not come out as pretty. I am telling you, it will. It is fail proof. The only tip you have to remember is use a light touch. That's it. If you push too hard on your blending brushes, you're gonna get that smudgy, splotchy look. If you just don't apply too much pressure, you will get the same results, I promise. There's literally nothing that could be more simple. Pick a few colors, ink blend them, stamp something black, stamp a sentiment, and you're done. Which one is your favorite, guys? Tell me which one your favorite is. What color did you stamp the palm trees? Black. Palm trees are stamped in black. All of the images here are stamped in black. could add the tree to the envelope. Great stuff as always. Yes, we could. Let's just do that. Let's just do that while we've got it out and we're hanging out together. And grab an envelope and we'll just make a matching envelope really quick. Sometimes, you know, I really forget to decorate my envelopes. I just do. But it really is a whole nother element, isn't it? Okay. So I need a scratch paper because this is not clean. So I'm going to put this like this. We're going to stamp it right there. Okay. And we'll that put down. The picture, this card is Deborah's favorite. The tree and palm tree is Jean's favorite. The palm tree is Kathy's favorite. The green one with the trees is Norma's. Yes, I have a heavy hand too, Nancy. So by nature, I have a very heavy hand. I am, have you guys ever heard the saying, a bull in a china closet? That's me. I'm not a very graceful person. I am klutzy and I'm very heavy-handed. So basically, never invite me anywhere where there's a lot of breakables because I'm not the one. I'm not the one you want there. All right, so there's our trees. So let's let that dry for a minute and we'll add a little ink blending to it, okay? So, because I have that problem, that is why I am very confident in telling you guys that you can ink blend like this. Because I'm not somebody who naturally, I have to remind myself while I'm ink blending the entire time, use a light hand, like I'm reminding myself while it's happening. Okay, so we're gonna use the soft seafoam to start. Even right now, I'm thinking, use a light hand, Wendy, use a light hand. Because it is very easy and very tempting to push hard to get that color to show up stronger and brighter. So what I do when I start pushing, because I'm being impatient, like right now I'm feeling impatient, I back my hand up. I just back my hand up off of the end, and then you physically cannot put a lot of pressure. The only way you can put a lot of pressure is if you choke up on the blending brush and push down. If you put your hand back like this, you can't put a lot of pressure onto the brush. It's just impossible. So I think I'm just gonna keep going around, and I'm gonna leave the center of this envelope white. You're gonna see, I'm gonna mess it up here because I'm gonna get impatient. Patience is the key to beautiful ink blending. Patience and light hand. I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm just telling you. Somebody's gonna come on here and be like, say exactly what you guys have been saying. I can't get it to look like that. And so I'm just gonna keep repeating myself. Yes, you can. You just have to have patience and a light hand. Okay, that's really pretty. So now we're gonna come in with some soft succulent. Yes, you're right, Sandra. If you are impatient, you will struggle with this technique. You have to be, I'm neither one. I am not patient, nor am I light-handed. So that is to say, if I can do it, you can do it, right? Because I'm admitting to you my struggles. So okay, now let's add one more layer of evening evergreen, and we're gonna call this good. Isn't that pretty? Kind of leaving that middle white so that we get this really beautiful. And with each layer here, I'm staying further back so that the other colors are still being able to be seen. I'm gonna have to go over this again because I'm not gonna be able to leave it alone. Okay, so there's that. Now I gotta go back in with the succulent. I can't help myself, I'm sorry. I'm not patient or light-handed. My mother used to tell me when they were giving out traits, I forgot to get in line for patience. Yeah, I'm same. We're the same person, Nancy. I wondered why I have trouble ink blending. I just need to take time and not try to get the ink too dark too quickly. That is right. That is right. You have to take your time and you have to layer the color. So let me tell you a little thing here. The reason you feel frustrated, some of you, with ink blending is because you watch YouTube videos. You're like, what does that have to do with anything? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what it has to do with it. In every YouTube video I think I've ever seen, including my own. So I'm not singling out anybody. Every YouTube video I've ever seen, anyone I've ever known, what do we do when we edit ink blending? What do? We speed it up. Why? Because you see how long this is taking. To get the finished desire that I'm looking for here, the finished product that I want, you see how long it's taking, okay? So now imagine if I was doing a tutorial and a huge part of my project was ink blending. Now I'm going back into that soft sea foam. Then if half of your video or more is doing this, it's boring. So what us YouTubers do is we speed that portion of the video up so that you don't have to sit through this slow process. That's all. So what that then makes you think is it should be a fast technique, when in actuality it is not at all a fast technique. So this is my last. I'm just going to go around one more time with my evening evergreen and really darken these edges just for this really cool moody effect that I'm trying to go for. And here, all I'm doing with this is protecting my fingers, because what's happening is the ink is building up so much on this envelope that it's starting to come off on my fingers. And I don't want it to make marks in the other areas of the card. I mean, of the envelope. Okay, this is done. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Okay, let me close these ink pads and then I'm going to look at your guys' comments. Thanks for all the tips. Thumbs up. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Your envelope looks beautiful, like a beautiful card. I would enjoy getting the envelope. Will be at the post office. Will the post office mess it up? I don't think so. I don't think so. So now look at that. Wouldn't that be a treat to get in the mail? Did your husband get the deck done? He did, and it looks fantastic. I'll have to video it for you guys and put it on my YouTubes. Let's give Wendy a thumbs up for this technique. Thank you, guys. Posted as well earlier. This is next level instructions. You're so sweet, Sandra. Thank you. Yeah, so this turned out great. So now I'll just address it here in the middle, and I'll actually probably put my return address on the back so that it is not messing up the front. And then I'll have some sort of fun stamps postage to go on here. Now let me show you guys how I keep my postage. You guys want to see it really quick? Let me grab it. Okay, you can find these on Amazon because I know you're going to ask. And I will, when the video ends, I will link to it below the video. But this is my little secret obsession. This is my postage. So I have pages and pages of vintage, unique postage. Isn't this fun? And so when I'm sending a special card, look at all these. When I'm sending a special card, I will go through my postage and I will look for something that kind of matches what I've done. Like this, I might use this one. These trout, because that kind of goes with the theme of the card. And it stores all of my beautiful vintage postage. And I use this. I use it. I don't just hoard it. I wait until there's the perfect card or the perfect envelope, and then I use these postages. And then in the back, this is my secret stash. In the back is Christmas. Look at all these fun Christmas stamps. So this is Christmas only back here. I love vintage postage. It is so fun. So yeah, you're saying, where did I get it? Where did I get this, this at? I got it from Amazon. I will link to it below the video. Callie Girl has a question about my mat. Let's see. Let me go look. Callie Girl, loving it. I'm definitely going to try this silhouette technique. Where did I miss it, Callie Girl? Maybe repeat your question. Great tip about backing up on the brush. I usually have my finger at the very top of the brush, which probably makes it too dark, which is, yes, that is exactly what's causing it. I joined a little late, so I'm sorry if you mentioned this in the beginning, but what are you blending on? The mat beneath. Okay, so this is my Vantage crafting mat. This is actually, this one's from Cricut, I think, but if you're talking about this is just from Stampin' Up. It's a grid paper. So Stampin' Up sells grid paper that comes in these big packets. If you want to get it. This one is a specialty one from an event that I attended on stage, but you can get them that are in a pack that are just white, and I have these in my office all of the time. And then I reuse them. So I won't use this area again because I wouldn't want it to mess up my new card, but I'll fold it in half and I'll use this side, and then I'll turn it over and I'll use this side. So I get a lot of uses out of one sheet. Okay. I'm reading your guys' comments. Yeah, the book is from Amazon. I'll link to it after I'm done. Are all the vintage stamps forever stamps? No. So they have their pricing on them. So for example, this is a 25-cent postage. Most of these I think are 25 cents. 29, 29, 29. Ooh, that's a cool train one. My nephew would love that. 22, 29. So there's lots of different amounts. The only ones that are forever stamps they will say, so for example, my Christmas ones, these ones, these are forever stamps. So see right here at the bottom, they say Forever USA. That's how you know this is a forever stamp. The rest of these, if they have an amount on it, they are worth that amount. So you might have to put multiple stamps on one. So for example, for this card, I would use maybe this 22, and then I would maybe go through and look for what else do I have that's maybe green or that has trees or animals. Like this one's green, but I don't really, it's not really the right feel. So I kind of like this, but it's a little bright. I kind of like how this one is muted. See that? So I would just like keep looking. What else do I have that maybe either has that same feel or color? I really like the dogs, but I don't, again, they're kind of, they've got a lot of bright white around them. I've got some Hot Wheel ones in here. These are forever stamps, but I've been saving those for like a little boy birthday. So you can see I have a lot of room for more stamps, more postage. Yeah, I don't see anything else that I love for this, so I'll just hold off, or I'll end up putting this on it with just a regular stamp or something. Yep. So that's my little secret postage stamp stash there. And there's their cards for today. Oh, good. You have the original plain ones. Yep. That's all you need. Okay, my friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, you can always drop them in the comments below, or you can email me at wendy@loveandstampin.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you need any of the products that you saw me use today, I would love it if you shopped with me at shoploveandstampin.com. I treat my customers really well. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.